My name is Dr. Michael Mannino. I am the director of the AI Center. We have 2 AI centers here at Miami-Dade College. And a lot of exciting things are going on with artificial intelligence, and Miami-Dade College is really leading the way. How many people are really optimistic about artificial intelligence? Okay. Almost. How many people are a little concerned and fearful and maybe uncertain about what's going on with art? Okay, more people are optimistic. Okay, watch out, fashion industry. We are democracy's college, our president likes to talk about, and with that we are actually democratizing artificial intelligence. So we created these programs here at Miami-Dade College, which we just recently launched this past fall. We have over 700 students already taking our courses, and we have 4 different pathways. These pathways are really the first of its kind in the state of Florida and pretty much the nation, like second in the nation. In the future, jobs that are coming online with artificial intelligence are not going to require PhDs and master's degrees, but rather associate's degrees and bachelor's degrees. So we launched that program this fall, actually, in Miami-Dade College, and Miami is becoming such a global tech hub, along with being a fashion hub as well. So the marriage of artificial intelligence and fashion is a perfect integration, especially to take place here in Miami. So it's very exciting times. And with me is Dan Bzurovski, the co-founder of an amazing company doing some very innovative things in artificial intelligence. So we're going to get into a really interesting conversation here about AI and how it's going to be affecting the fashion industry, jobs in the fashion industry, and creativity and design and all those kinds of things that deal with the fashion industry. Let me ask you the first question.
For sure.
Okay. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about your company, but in general, how do you think artificial intelligence and new technologies are redefining the rules of consumer experience in the fashion industry? Redefining.
So let me first ask a question to the audience. I think that
Please.
it will be easy for me to answer that question. How many of you use ChatGPT in your regular basis? Perfect. So AI, now it's part of our life, definitely. It's something that it's part of our day-to-day. And the reason why AI is getting better day after day, it's because there's a huge amount of data that is being collected and it's being analyzed. And actually, we users are the ones that are helping to generate and collect that data. Mm-hmm. So it's like every time that we go to Instagram, we scroll, we put like on a post, we comment something, we share something to our friends. Every time that we visit an Amazon product, we are saying what we like, what we don't like. Every time that we watch a Netflix series. So AI, it's literally in everywhere, and it's helping in a different ways. And one of the most important ways that it's helping right now is to help users to take better decisions, okay? So imagine that we land on an e-commerce. We don't know nothing about the brand, but there's a bunch of products. So we want to find something that is interesting for us. That data that we are collecting, that we are also helping to generate, help us to determine what products we like, what we should look for, what we should buy next. So that's product recommendation. It's one of the ways AI is helping in the e-commerce side. So then imagine that we find what we are looking for, and it's a garment. So now we have a problem, which is, what's my size? And that's what FITIT, which is our company, I'm one of the co-founders, we help we help to tell you what's your right size based on something that it fits you well. So you just take your garment, your favorite garment, put it on the floor, take a photo, and based on that T-shirt, which is yours, we give you an advice. And that's another way AI is helping customers. And the beauty of this, and then that photo, you can take it in any of the stores we are integrated, and you will receive personalized advices on what garment you should buy. And the third one is, imagine that then, okay, we know their size from the garment that we want to buy. We have questions from the product. So you might go to a chatbot or some kind of way to interact and ask questions, and that's AI as well. So AI is literally in every part.
Yeah, yeah. So let's get into this. Let's get really deep for a second, because we don't have much time, right? So let's get into this idea of personalization. How is AI affecting personalization in the fashion industry? And do you have any thoughts on the trends? What's coming? What's the future of personalization? So that's really one of the big benefits of artificial intelligence. It knows us, right? It has so much data on us, so it can, this is Netflix, right? It can recommend things to you. It can recommend music. It can recommend movies. So is it going to be able to recommend fashion? Can it help me sort my closet for the next week, for example? Maybe I shouldn't have been wearing this today because, you know, it's not optimal for my personality or something like that, right? AI is going to know us so well, even better than we know ourselves. So do you think it maybe can help us make decisions about what we should wear based on our personality, based on what we have in our calendar that week, based on our desires and passions and interests?
For sure. I think that that's probably one of the things that we are going to see in the next couple of months/years. And ChatGPT, just a few weeks ago, released a new model that is capable to process all this data on real time, video and audio, which is, you might be with your phone in a store asking questions with your phone, what I should buy based on my preference and stuff, and that will be analyzed on real time, which sounds scary, okay, and I get it, but it's part of things that definitely AI is going to help to improve. And yeah, that's what I think.
So another philosophical question about AI and creativity, because that's what the fashion industry is all about. So how can AI help amplify our creativity and just push our mind's ability, you know, to its very edge in terms of what we can create and design? And then on the other side of that, what concerns do you have about AI and its relation to taking away from our creativity?
Let's start with the second part of the question.
Okay.
So AI is the first thing that the human create that is capable to decide from us, okay? And that's I don't feel like we need to be afraid, but we need to have respect, which is different. So imagine that we want to summarize a document. We send that document to ChatGPT. Hey, please give me a summary of this because we are lazy and we don't want to read. So the AI is deciding what I should know from that document. So what I'm trying to say is it's very important to keep an eye on judgment about the output from the AI, okay? That's the reason why I feel like you should have respect. Not be afraid because it's an amazing tool. It can speed up processes, can give you insights that you never imagined. So it's great. But as long as you check the output, I'm a developer too. So imagine that I trust on the code that it will be garbage as well.
Yeah, and from an educational standpoint, there's a lot of worry about AI making us lazy. And I personally don't think that. I think it amplifies a lot of these things. It's a great assistant if we can use it right. And that's one of the things we have to get right. But it's not lazy to use ChatGPT or not lazy to use AI to help design. What's lazy is to not vet the output of ChatGPT, right? That's a very important point. But should designers be afraid of AI? Should we be worried?
I think that don't. Again, back to the question. It's having respect and know how to use it and vet the output. That's the whole thing. But creativity, for me, it's part of human nature, and that's never going to be replaced by AI. Actually, it's going to be boosted with the right.
Okay, awesome. So next question. And this is more related to what you're doing and really disrupting the fashion industry. But there's all these other what we might call externalities about how we use AI in the fashion industry and what other effects that will have. So one is possibly sustainability, right? And so maybe speak to a little bit about how AI contributes to sustainability in the fashion industry.
For sure. Sustainability was part of a lot of the different people that speak today. And I was hearing a lot of people talking about finding new material, finding new technology to build more sustainable products, recycled materials, this whole circle thing, which is great, and we are doing better than yesterday, definitely. But in my opinion, that's just part of the journey, because, okay, we build a sustainable product, and then we need to ship that. And return rates are crazy, from 17 to 25%, which means like still there's a lot of damage to the environment just because I'm buying 4 different type of t-shirts because I don't know my size. So that's the kind of things that with a little bit of help, and that's what we are doing, that's why we exist, we are working in the other side of the equation, which is helping on the returns, and the returns are associated to the carbon footprint, and literally it's huge, the damage that it's associated with that, because it's a whole change. Like the garment needs to go back to the store, be repacked, so and so. Yeah, so a little bit of help there, making sure that the people buy with confidence is super important.
Do you think AI can help us predict fashion trends and help us optimize not only like the sustainability part, but like what we're actually producing, so that we can minimize these externalities and optimize sort of like, okay, this is, or maybe also for fashion designers to get ahead of the curve, right?
Definitely. I feel like they will be able to predict kind of that, because still, again, we go again to the creativity part. Humans are complex, okay, and fashion, it's leading by humans. So it will be a great tool to help to predict stuff, but I feel like still there will be a human factor, very important there.
Okay. And so back to this idea of personalization. So there's this, we were talking about this beforehand, and I just want to bring it up. There's this idea of, there's this whole field called enclothed cognition. So there's this relationship between fashion and what we wear and the mind and our psychological state. So do you think AI can help optimize that relation between how we feel about ourselves and what our personality is and our self-confidence and our mind and our ability to to help make better decisions and have more self-confidence? Back to this point about like, should I have been wearing this today? I'm giving a talk today. I'm on stage here. How are people viewing me? How am I viewing myself? Can AI help? Do you think with that?
Eventually, yes. With the right amount of data, with the right amount of knowledge, yes. And it will be part of our daily basis. Still, I believe that it's very important for you to, if you decide consciousness, that you want to be using black because you want to save time and energy on decision, that's fair too. But it's because you're literally wanting help. It will be a great second hand, for sure, with the right amount of data collected from you to you.
Right, yeah. So AI can know me better than I know myself, and then prompt me. So right now we're prompting artificial intelligence, right? With large language models, we put the text in and then we get the output. So we're prompting. So it's a very good idea to learn how to interact with AI as well. But we want to move to a world, or we are moving to a world of AI agents, where AI agents are taking actions for us, right? It's going to select my outfits, right? It's going to select what I'm supposed to be wearing and help me make decisions, right? And take actions on that. So it's going to start prompting us because it knows us so well. So in that way, there will be no, I mean, eventually you can imagine a point where we're not making any decisions about what to wear, right? It's just making the decisions for us because it knows our mood, right? It knows our personality and those kinds of things. Do you think we're coming to that world?
Yes.
Which is very...
Again, all this sounds scary,
little
because, but it could be. But it will be your decision to decide to leave the door open for that to happen, or it will be up to you. But for sure, it can help on those things if they know you, if know you your preferences.
Yeah, our preferences, exactly. Right. So it knows our preferences better than we do, actually. There's this notion of AI literacy, and we're moving into a world where AI is becoming completely ubiquitous in every kind of field, right? Not only fashion. We use AI, I mean, I use it every 5 minutes when I unlock my phone with my face, right? So I like to talk about AI as not only a skill set to learn about AI, but it's also a mindset. And I think that's part of this idea of AI literacy, is understanding what it is and what its impact in the world is and how it's affecting every different aspect of our lives. Once you understand that better, you can interact with AI better, we can make better decisions, and then it also goes to these ethical questions, right, about who's creating the AI, who's responsible, is the AI transparent in the decisions that it's going to help me make? So there's this idea of explainability and transparency and accountability, right? Are the right people in the room that are building these models? So I want you to talk a little bit about you creating this company, and how are you making the decisions about which models to use? Are they the right models? Are they taking into account every single possible person out there? You know, like in terms of the ethical, responsible aspects of the models that you choose when you're building an AI company. So I think that's a really important point. I wonder if you could speak to that as an entrepreneur,
Sure.
as an AI entrepreneur.
So it's everything related to privacy and data. It comes with the right amount of responsibility, because of course that if we are integrated in dozens of stores, we know exactly what you're watching in every store with your measures, with your name, with a lot of information that again, you are accepting as a user to collect. That's the reason why you're using these type of things. So we need to be very responsible in how to digest that information to make sure that we are helping the user without to compromise safeness. And that definitely is reflected in the way that we choose our models, and there's a lot of documentation from people that actually, it's hard to create something from scratch. So our models always are based from another models, and it's tweaks from, on top of things that people create before. That's like development is like a huge community, just like fashion. There's a lot of help between different companies and open things and sources for us to consume. Yeah. So yeah, we take very serious how we find the right things to implement, especially because we know that it's related to data, and we want to be careful with that. It's our responsibility.
Yeah, so there's the idea of bias and privacy and security and safety in artificial intelligence as well. So I'm glad that you're taking that into account. I don't think enough AI entrepreneurs really take that into account. Can you talk a little bit more about what it's like to be an AI entrepreneur in the fashion industry? What are the possibilities of disruption, and who's your competitors, by the way, and how, what's going on with the field in general?
For sure.
Yeah. What other ways are people using artificial intelligence, not only for identifying clothes and making it fit you right, but
there's a lot of companies trying to do. So sorry, let's go back to the question. So there was a boom with health tech, with prop tech, with different tech associated industries, and yes, there's fashion tech. Still, there's a huge room to things to be discovered and developed. We were mentioning something that helps you on real time to take decisions based on your clothes. So sizing is one big deal because it's tied directly to returns. And there's companies trying to do this in a different way, like us. The majority of the companies ask you about your body, what's your weight, what's your age, what type of clothes do you use, but they are asking you about your body, and they are trying to give you an advice of a garment. We think different. What we do is we ask you about a garment, and we recommend you a garment, which is easier because I'm based the advice on something that you really like and know. And that's a problem that is tied to returns. Then there are other type of companies which solve a different problem, which is very similar but is different in the sense, which is how a garment looks on you. Okay, I am in my home, I want to see how a garment looks. That has nothing to do if it's going to fit you well. We are the part that solves that. They are the ones who makes you see the garment on you. And that's another way to disrupt, and AI definitely helps to power that, all those images and models.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so last question, because we only have a couple minutes left. Let me just get my notes out here. I already asked you if designers should be. Okay, so there's in the world of artificial intelligence, you have large language models that we prompt, as I was just talking about. So we have all of these so-called multimodal models out there. So let me just describe a little bit what multimodality is. You have text to music, right? So there's websites out there like Suno that you can put in a language prompt and you could get out this song with lyrics and music, and it just creates. There's text to image, right? Maybe some of you have used Dali or Midjourney, right, to help you design. ChatGPT or OpenAI, I should say, just released, or they didn't release it yet. I think it's going to be the end of the year, but they created this app called Sora. I don't know if you've seen that, but Sora's text to video, right? Text to movie. So it's completely disrupting Hollywood and that kind of thing. So I'm wondering if there's going to be something called text to fashion, right? So, like you just put in a prompt, and this is what you want to wear, and it basically comes out with the outfit, and also it knows your personal data, so it optimizes and that to you. But
if someone is with lack of ideas, there's a good idea too.
so we can create that text to fashion.
Yeah, definitely, that would be a great idea. But the thing is, there's a speed of changes that are happening with AI that we are not realizing how many things are going to change just because it's going to be embedded in every part of our day. And yeah, definitely, that's a good idea. And the fact that it will be on real time, okay, it will disrupt that. Imagine that you will be with your garment, or you will be in a shopping mall and you will ask questions just like if you have a human. And it's getting better and better every day. So we need to get used to that.
There's can I say one more? So there's in the field of artificial intelligence, there's really two kinds. There's something called narrow AI, which is just AI performing a specific task, and that's really, by the way, the definition of artificial intelligence. It's just computers that can help perform tasks that humans typically do, and do them all better, right? I mean, for example, in healthcare and radiological reporting, we can reduce, for example, breast cancer rates from like 30% error rate down to 1% because computer vision can recognize these things better. It makes better predictions. So that's narrow, or self-driving cars. It's doing one task. Then there's this other side of AI, which is called artificial general intelligence. And a lot of people think that we're coming to this point of artificial general intelligence maybe by the end of this year. Elon Musk thinks it's going to be by the end of next year, and so on. And this is artificial intelligence doing anything a human can do. Empathizing, being compassionate, recognizing emotions, being creative, having intuition, things like that. So it's a very, very scary world, and AI is definitely, but optimistic. I'm an optimist, but there's going to be a lot of major disruption. Last quick question is this idea of job displacement. So a lot of people think with that jobs are going to be displaced, jobs are going to be replaced. How do you think that's going to affect the fashion industry? Or do you have any thoughts on that?
It's a good question. Of course, what I think is just my personal opinion, is not the truth, and could be job changes are part of life. Like life change, so you need to be you need to receive that with kindness because it's part of their life. So definitely there will be disruption in the industries. Therefore, some things that are some tasks which are very easy to do, or some tasks which AI can do in a faster way. You were mentioning image recognition related to cancer. Of course, we prefer machines to be on topics that are very important, to be the ones who take good insights, okay? So yeah, could lean on that, and it's happening. So it's very important for us to educate about the things that are happening in order to pivot and find our spot, and yeah, because certainly some things are going to change. It's not a guarantee, but it's part of the life, the changes, so.
No, I agree. I think AI is going to create a lot of jobs as well. So,
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
You're right.
That was awesome. Great.
Thank you.